Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to video number 389. This video is based on countries with the most debt in the world. So we are going to discuss those countries which have the biggest problem with debt. This video is dedicated to all those who have worked on this important issue, and I have used data and information from their websites. So the video is dedicated to all those, including Anita and so on. According to data published by London-based investment firm, Japan, Greece, Italy, Portugal, and US are the top biggest 5 nations with the highest level of public debt. Japan's national debt is hoping to 36% of GDP. That is, the debt to GDP ratio of Japan is 236%, which is the highest percentage of all developed countries in the world. Japan's public debt grew rapidly during the coronavirus pandemic, driven by a significant increase in emergency spending, while its debt to GDP ratio grew because GDP growth declined. The Bank of Japan is the buyer of most domestic bonds. These securities allow the government of Japan to access finance at an ultra-low interest rate, which experts point to as the main reason why the country has been able to sustain such a high debt levels. Greece ranks second in terms of the public debt, and the debt to GDP ratio of Greece is 185%. So with this debt to GDP ratio of 185%, most of Greece's national debt problems appear to stem from the post-2008 global financial crisis period, which sparked one of the worst economic collapses since the Great Depression. Greece, alongside other countries including Portugal, Spain, and Italy, were most impacted by the fallout from the global financial crisis as they struggled to refinance government debt and bail out struggling banks because they had the biggest debt burdens in Europe before the crisis began. Regional factors may be a large part of why Italy's debt are so high at 134%. States invest. Italy was one of the EU countries hit hardest by COVID-19 and, like many governments, stepped up government borrowing during the pandemic to finance emergency spending. Here is a list of 3 countries. These are the countries with the largest debt to GDP ratio. Japan ranks number 1, and its government debt to GDP ratio is 236%. Then there is Greece with 185% government debt to GDP ratio, followed by Italy, which ranks 3rd in terms of government debt with 134.1% public debt to GDP ratio. So these are the 3 largest indebted countries in terms of the ratio of debt to GDP. The United States of America ranks 5th with its approximate government debt at a staggering $22.7 trillion, which constitutes 108% of GDP according to OECD data, which is used by this firm Invest. However, June 2022 data published by the US put debt at more than 126% of the country's nominal GDP, with most of the increased spending due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The United Kingdom, which faces a profound economic crisis according to its new Prime Minister, in large part because of debts it racked up during the pandemic and higher borrowing costs, had the 10th highest debt to GDP ratio according to this investment research firm, and that ratio is 83.9%, almost 84%. Here in this graph we can see the most indebted countries in the world, and here is a comparison of 2 years, that is 2017 and 27, that is 2007 and 2017. So if you look at the graph, Japan still ranks on top with the 238% of debt to GDP ratio in 2017. Greece ranks second with the 182% of government debt to GDP ratio. Then there is Italy with the ratio of 132%. Portugal ranks fourth with this ratio of 126, and United States ranks fifth, and the ratio of public debt to GDP is 105%. In Belgium, this ratio is 103%. Same is Egypt with the same ratio, 103%. Spain public debt to GDP ratio is 98%, followed by Cyprus, that is 97%, and France also has this percentage, this ratio of 97%. United Kingdom has this debt to GDP ratio of 88%. In this slide, we can see countries with the largest national debt burdens, and here this is estimated general government gross debt as a share of GDP in 2020, and this was basically these estimates are as of December 2021, and this data is available on the IMF website. In Venezuela, the share of gross government debt is 304%. For Japan, this is 254%, Greece 211%, Italy 156%, for Portugal this is 135%, for United States this is 134%. Spain and Cyprus follow with 120% and 119% respectively. This is a list of 24 countries with the largest external debt. US with the $24.5 trillion as of December 2022, with per capita burden as 73,643, and this is a 96.39% of the GDP. Then there is UK with 8.73 trillion external debt, which constitutes 273% of the GDP. Then there is France with 253% of GDP and a total external debt of 7.04 trillion, followed by Germany with external debt 6.46, and then Japan, followed by China 2.64 trillion, and then there is Italy with $2.51 trillion as external debt, and so on. So we can read in this list from USA up to Denmark, and these are the largest countries in debt. Here we can see the percentage of the world debt by country, and if you look at this graph, United States share of global debt is 31%, which is the heaviest in the world, and this is followed by Japan, that is 17%. Then we have China, that is 9.8%, and there are some other countries like Italy, Germany, France, United Kingdom, Spain, Canada, Portugal, and other countries. We can also see Pakistan here, and the share of Pakistan in the global debt is only 0.3%. We can also see other countries: Argentina 0.6%, Brazil 2.5%, 2.4%, Mexico 0.9%, and so on. In nominal terms, the US leads the world with roughly 21 trillion of government debt. Venezuela's debt to GDP ratio has skyrocketed to 182%, in part because of hyperinflation and US oil embargoes. Japan has the sky high 237% debt to GDP, but over 90% of this debt is held domestically, that is internal debt. The IMF warns that if Greece continues at its current pace, debt to GDP will hit a whopping 275% by 2060. So this shows debt as percentage of GDP. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very alarming situation for various countries of the world, and many countries are caught up in vicious circle of debt. There is debt trap. So this is a brief discussion of various countries which has the heaviest burden of debt. Thanks for watching this video. If you haven't yet subscribed the channel, kindly do subscribe to the channel, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you can get notification about the new videos that will be uploaded for you. Kindly share this channel and this video with your colleagues, with your friends, with your students, so that the information could reach to the maximum possible level. Thank you, and see you in another video.